The Hungry Tide by Amitav Ghosh. Once upon a time, in the Sundarbans, a vast and unique mangrove forest in the Bay of Bengal, lived several characters whose lives were intertwined with the river, the land, and the animals of this mystical place. P. Roy, an Indian-American marine biologist, arrived in the Sundarbans to study a rare species of river dolphin. As she navigated through the complex channels and tides of the forest, she met Fakir, a local fisherman who would become her guide and companion. Fakir's intimate knowledge of the waterways and his deep connection with the land and its creatures would prove invaluable to Pia's research. As Pia delved deeper into her research, she discovered that the ecosystem of the Sundarbans was fragile and threatened by climate change and human activity. She witnessed the devastating effects of cyclones, the depletion of the forest's resources, and the increasing conflict between humans and animals. One day, Pia and Fakir rescued an orphaned baby dolphin and named it Duku. Pia became deeply attached to the baby dolphin, and as she cared for it, she realized the immense responsibility that came with being a scientist. She began to question the ethical implications of her work and the impact it had on the environment and the people who depended on it. As Pia and Fakir grew closer, they developed a deep mutual respect and understanding. Fakir shared his knowledge of the forest with Pia and taught her about the intricate relationship between humans and animals in the Sundarbans. However, their relationship was not without challenges, as they came from vastly different worlds and faced opposition from Fakir's family and the conservative society around them. Meanwhile, Kanai, a successful businessman from Kolkata, arrived in the Sundarbans to trace his ancestry and claim his inheritance. Kanai was a self-proclaimed rationalist who believed in science and reason. However, his encounter with the mystical beauty of the Sundarbans and the stories of his ancestors challenged his beliefs and made him question the limitations of his rationality. As the story unfolded, the characters' lives intersected and their relationships deepened. They faced challenges, overcame obstacles, and learned valuable lessons about themselves and the world around them. Through vivid descriptions of the forest's beauty and the characters' inner struggles, Ghosh painted a compelling portrait of the human experience and its relationship with the natural world. In the end, Pia and Fakir's relationship was cut short by a tragic event that left Pia devastated. Kanai returned to Kolkata, transformed by his experiences in the Sundarbans, and the orphaned dolphin, Duku, found a new home in the wild. The story of the Sundarbans and its inhabitants continued, a never-ending cycle of life and death, growth and decay, inextricably linked to the ebb and flow of the tides. Here are some of the key incidents in The Hungry Tide. Pia's arrival in the Sundarbans. Pia Roy, a marine biologist of Indian origin, arrives in the Sundarbans to study the rare Irrawaddy river dolphin. She meets Kanai, a successful businessman and her childhood friend, who is also in the area to trace his ancestry. Fakir's encounter with Pia. Fakir, a local fisherman, is asked to take Pia into the deep waters of the Sundarbans. Pia is fascinated by Fakir's knowledge of the forest and the river, and he becomes her guide and friend. The rescue of Duku. Pia and Fakir rescue a baby dolphin, which they name Duku. Pia becomes attached to the dolphin and realizes the ethical implications of her work as a scientist. Conflict between humans and animals. Pia witnesses the conflict between humans and animals in the Sundarbans, particularly the man-eating tiger who threatens the lives of the villagers. Kanai's encounter with the past. Kanai discovers a letter from his great-aunt that reveals the secrets of his family's past, including a tragic love story. Fakir's family. Fakir's wife, Moina, is pregnant and fears that Fakir will leave her for Pia. Fakir's mother, Kusum, disapproves of his relationship with Pia and is fiercely protective of her son. Cyclone warning. A cyclone warning is issued, and Pia and Fakir must race against time to return to safety. During the storm, Pia and Fakir are separated, and Pia fears for Fakir's safety. Tragedy strikes. Pia learns that Fakir has died while trying to rescue his family from the storm. Pia is devastated by the loss of her friend and is left to grapple with the ethical implications of her work in the Sundarbans. Duku's release. Pia releases Duku back into the wild, and the dolphin swims away into the vastness of the Sundarbans. These are just a few of the many incidents that occur throughout the novel, each of which contributes to the overarching themes of human relationships, environmentalism, and the intersection between the past and the present. Here are some of the main characters in The Hungry Tide. Pia Roy. Pia is the protagonist of the novel and a marine biologist of Indian origin. She is driven by her passion for studying the rare Irrawaddy River dolphin in the Sundarbans. Pia is strong-willed, independent, and curious, but also vulnerable and emotionally complex. Kanai Dutt. Kanai is a successful businessman and Pia's childhood friend. He comes to the Sundarbans to trace his ancestry and is drawn into Pia's world of scientific exploration. Kanai is pragmatic, rational, and often cynical, but his experiences in the Sundarbans challenge his worldview. Fokir. Fokir is a local fisherman who becomes Pia's guide and friend. He is intimately familiar with the Sundarbans and has a deep respect for the forest and its creatures. Fokir is kind, patient, and wise, but he is also limited by his lack of education and social status. Moina. Moina is Fokir's wife and is pregnant throughout most of the novel. She is jealous of Fokir's relationship with Pia and fears losing him to the outside world. Moina is fiercely protective of her family and is skeptical of outsiders like Pia and Kanai. Kusum. Kusum is Fokir's mother and the matriarch of her family. She is fiercely protective of her son and is skeptical of Pia's intentions. Kusum is traditional, superstitious, and somewhat hostile to outsiders, but she also possesses a deep knowledge of the forest and its ways. Nirmal. Nirmal is Kanai's uncle and the former caretaker of a nearby island. He has a tragic past and is haunted by the loss of his daughter. Nirmal's story is revealed through a series of letters he wrote to his wife. Each of these characters plays a unique role in the novel, and their interactions and relationships with one another drive the plot forward. Through their experiences, the novel explores themes of human relationships, environmentalism, and the intersection between the past and the present. The Hungry Tide is a powerful and moving novel that raises important questions about the relationship between humans and the environment, and the ways in which the past continues to shape the present. It is a must-read for anyone interested in literature, environmentalism, or the complex interplay between humans and nature. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more book summaries.